What's up, athletes? Welcome back. When it comes to transformation or creating a change around our lifestyle, environment is everything. If we want to succeed, we want to make sure that the environment that we are in supports that success. That means we have to audit our physical environment, our social environment, and even our emotional environment. So if I'm wanting to make a change around my nutrition, but the people I'm spending time with are always eating the things that I'm trying to avoid, or perhaps in my kitchen or in my pantry, I have some of those snacks that are constantly calling to me. That will only make it so much harder for me to commit to my goals. And the thing is, like attracts like. That means we gravitate to our environment. It's only going to be a matter of time until we find ourselves going right back to where we started. And now, athletes, something that we oftentimes overlook is our emotional environment. Certain emotions cause certain triggers that create out of control behavior. That could be out of control eating or out of control drinking or any other habit that doesn't serve us. So we have to make sure that our emotions are also constantly in check. Now, I talk about this often on my podcast, Fall in Love with Fitness, with different guests that are either professionals in their field or who have overcome adversities themselves. So check it out. It is on Spotify and iTunes. All right, athletes, now if you are new here, go ahead and subscribe so that we train together, and then maybe share this video with a friend so that you have an accountability partner, because today we're doing a 10-minute full body, no stop workout, and it is completely body weight. It's going to be highly cardio, and then also a lot of upper body and a lot of legs. And all you're going to need to follow along is just your mat, and then keep beside you maybe an elevated surface. Now, we're going to use this. Here I've got a plyometric box. I'm going to move it around. We're going to modify some movements here, but also use it for some of the exercises that you're going to see coming up. Now, remember that this is a wild card workout. So I'll show you your first movement. Then you're going to check the box above to see what is coming up next so that you can keep following along. All right, athletes, are you ready? Our first exercise here is going to be a squat with a knee to elbow. So in our squat position, you're going to keep the feet just outside the shoulders. Make sure that your toes are not pointed completely straight because we want to follow the natural alignment of the femur. You're going to push the knees out, drive the hips back, come up, and then bring the knee and elbow together. Now this is going to add just a little bit of obliques. Now I do have my little box behind me, so you can sit if you'd like, stand up with me, and then come all the way down. Now if you're finding that your range of motion is short, like your squat is maybe over here, or you're finding that you lift up your heels or drive your knees forward, then please release that ego. We keep it at the door. Put that little bench behind you or chair behind you, and let's focus on getting that proper form, so to avoid injury, and then of course to up the intensity and get the results that you want. All right, athletes, are you ready? So we're going for 60 seconds, no stopping, in 3, 2, 1, and go. All right, so drive the knees out, and now bring the knees and elbows together, and then to keep your balance, maybe just find a spot on the floor, maybe a couple feet in front of you, and then don't think about it too much. Just continue to breathe. It's okay if your knees and elbows don't touch. That can happen. Just try and get a little bit of side bend here. All right, good work. Nicely done. And then after this, get ready for some dips. So you're going to place your hands behind you on that little elevated surface you have nearby, and let's go for it. 10 seconds, continue to breathe here. That's it. 3, 2, 1, and break. All right, here we go. So feet are straight. If you want to increase the intensity, I'm gonna keep my knees bent, feet closer to me today, because I know that 1 minute is going to be a long time on these dips, and I want to make sure that I can speak to you at the same time. So athletes, I've learned over the years about how important my environment is, and so I always wanted to surround myself with people who are either doing what I'm already doing or are far ahead of me, because that was where I wanted to go. And I noticed every time I was in a space where people were talking me out of things or told me how things wouldn't work out, I always felt discouraged. And so do you resonate with that? Do you have people around you who maybe do make you feel that way? All right, 5 seconds, we're gonna stand up for some fast feet. 3, 2, 1, and break. Oh man. All right, let's go. You're gonna bend the knees halfway and then just go as fast as you can, keeping nice and low, and then switching back and forth as quickly as possible. You know, I have this rule in life that I never take advice from anyone who isn't already doing what I'm trying to do or hasn't already done it, because everyone has an opinion. And what I've also learned is that people's opinions are more reflective on how they feel about themselves than it really being about you. So try your best to just let it wash in and wash out without hanging on to that thought or that opinion, because it's almost like we never win. 10 seconds. But instead, you'll notice if you're spending time with people who are encouraging you, you feel energized and limitless. 3, 2, 1. All right, break it off now. Okay, so next we're gonna go for a split squat over here, or I also invite you to bring your foot up. If you wanna up the intensity a little bit, just watch though your legs and make sure you're driving your hips back and that your knee is not passing your toes, or that you're not lifting up your heels. That's it, continue to breathe here. And then I like to inhale as I go down and exhale as I go up. And so if you practice yoga, it might feel a little bit opposite, but what I always think about is, especially as I'm exercising, is how I want to exhale on the effort. And if that's hard to remember, don't worry about it. Just do your best to keep breathing and oxygenating those muscles. Good work. That's it, 5 more seconds. 3, 2, 1. All right, whew. Shake it off. Now switch sides, keep going. Remember, again, you have access to do this on the floor, but I'm gonna remind you that whatever you do on one side, stay consistent. Do the same thing on the other side so you don't develop any imbalances in the body. Good job. That's the stuff. All right, get ready. Next, we're gonna do an elevated hip lift. We're gonna place both feet on our box, or you can stay on the floor as you wish. Remember that if I wanna create consistency around training, I have to respect the body and just give it an opportunity to adapt and to build, because it will. It's only a matter of time. That's it. 10 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right. Oh my goodness, halfway, thank goodness. Okay, let's go. So feet up here now, or on the floor. And we're gonna lift all the way up and just hold for 1, 2, before you come back down. That's it. 1, 2, and then come back down. Good job. All right. I was hoping this would feel more like a recovery, but my buns are on fire. Where are you at? How are you feeling this? What is the intensity like for you today? Let me know. And it helps me then to create the content for you, because this, athletes, is about you. All right, good work. Let's work on the core next. We're gonna get into a side lying position on the left side and switch. And then also on the forearm. And now stay on the soft side of the hips. So I'm not on the bone. The other option also to modify is to do it like this. But remember, whatever you do on one side, whenever working one side at a time, do the same thing on the other side. So one of the greatest things that I recommend for athletes when they're looking to do a nutrition transformation or a transformation around how they eat is to not be so absolute and rigid. It's not a diet, but instead thinking about how you want to do more of the things that serve you and less of the things that don't. And so that does start with transforming what is in your pantry and your fridge. Whatever you bring home will tempt you. 3, 2, 1, and break. And so let's go ahead and switch to the other side now. And so instead, really think about maybe shopping online with a list so you know exactly what to get. So maybe you're not tempted to pick up things that maybe won't serve you today, or maybe also go do groceries while you are full. And that's generally my tactic, because whenever I go grocery shopping on an empty stomach or when I'm super hungry, oh my goodness, I bring home all kinds of things. And so instead at home, if we're jonesing for dessert, usually we'll make something out of whole ingredients that we already have in the pantry, or occasionally we can just go to the grocery store or to the bakery and get something really good that's only enough for one serving and no leftovers. All right, now let's go ahead and switch onto a plank position. We're gonna do a dolphin plank next. So now that we have that elevated surface nearby, remember we also have the option to place the hands here while we're doing our dolphin plank instead of going on the knees. You'll notice that if you try this on the knees, it is super uncomfortable, so don't grind the knees. Remember, we're gonna do this together until we're well into our 80s, and so want to just protect those joints and make that available for us. All right, good job. We're gonna do a high intensity finish, standing up with some jumping jacks, just to keep that heart rate up in our final minute. And so I'll also share with you a version where you don't have to jump, and I'll share that with you first. All right, get ready. A few more seconds. Come on, don't break. Stay here with me. 3, 2, 1. All right, let's go. So if you don't want to jump, just follow me like this. That's totally cool. May have shared with you that I tore my calf muscle at the beginning of 2021 in the silliest way possible. And it took me almost a full year to be able to get to the place where I could jump like this. So I've learned to just be consistent and to leave the ego at the door and just show up for myself. The win is that I show up, not how I show up, but just that I do. All right, so we're gonna follow the breath. We got this. 20 seconds, come on. We sprint through that finish line. 15 more seconds. Here it is. 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Whew. And break. Oh man, that was a doozy. High five for showing up for you. Remember that I love to hear from you, so let me know how this went for you today. Remember also to repeat one more time if you have it in you, or check out the other workout I have linked for you at the end of this video to complete your training today. Remember also to like the video if you've enjoyed it, and then to subscribe if you're new here so we keep training together. All right, now let's go catch our breaths, refuel, rehydrate, and meet in the next one. You've got this.